Hi, this is Asad Ijaz. I hope you all are doing well. This basically lecture is for Python programming 15 questions, and those 15 questions are in mostly asked in interviews. So you have to be asked in those interviews. This video is for those 15 questions. I hope you all have Visual Studio Code in your systems. If you don't have, it's open source. You have to install it on your Windows or Mac operating systems. So first question is, what will be the output of that code? There is a function in that code and the two parameters are passed in that function, and this function is returning us a list. And after that function we have three variables. First one, we pass the 10 parameter. Okay, let's jump into VS Code. And in our VS Code there is 10. We firstly pass 10 in the function, and this 10 will automatically appended in the list, and after that it's saved in list 1. Same in the list 2. If we see 1 2 3 is integer and a is a character, so we pass it and it will also append it in the list. And when we print our output, so in our output we can see that 10 and a, because a is a character, it's also passed in the same list because our function is returning the same list. So that's the reason we had shown the same list, like in the list 1 and list 3. In list 1 variable and in list 3 variable we have the same list. You can see in list 1 and in list 3. The reason behind is we have the same output, like we have our function is returning the one list, okay, and the other is any parameter which is passed, like 10, 1 2 3 or a. These are any kind of parameters, and it is passed and it is appended in that list. So that's the output our first question. Now let's jump into our next question. What will be the output of the code below? This is like a function, and a lambda function is also returning in that multipliers function. Now we can see the multiplier function has lambda function, and it returns like one liner expression. In other words, this function is called one line expression. Okay, so in that one line expression, when the lambda function comes, so this x is our main variable, because the whole result of this line, it means one line expression, will stored in this x, and it will be returned. Okay, so we have to run this code. We have 4 times 6 output because our list is in range 4. That's why these are 0 1 2 3, because range 4 means 0 to 3. So in the index, if we count the index 0 1 2 and 3, and after that now come on this expression. Basically these are two operations in one line. Sorry about that. Okay, now we can see that one, when we have like after lambda, if there is a loop, there is always I mean the number comes after the loop, which is 3, and this 3 is multiplied by this value, like 2 multiplied by 3, and this and that comes 6. Suppose if we put 3 in it, it will return 9, because 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. So there is that's the logic, that when any lambda returns the value, and lambda is also like after the loop is finished, lambda is called after the loop has finished. So I is 3 by the time it's called. So here I is 3 and x is basically the same, like m is 3, and for m in multipliers means it will be passed in that function, and when it passed in that function it automatically apply 3 here, and like 3 is here also, so 3 multiplied by 3, so it will be 9, and our range is 1 to 4, so it will come 9 4 times. Okay, and this is our lambda function, and it's like one line expression. Okay, so now we have to jump to our another question, which is, that's a question. Okay, now you can see what will be the output of the code below. Explain in your explain your answers. It's our question number 3. Here we can see a class parent has another an object, and the child and child 2 is also inherited like some from the parent class, but it's empty classes. So the output, like when we run this, first of all we have to run it. By the way, you all have it's very important that you have like Visual Studio and on your Windows or Mac. So output is 111 because we print it and we print it again. The first output, like you can see here, if the parent contains a one variable, one, like x is equal to 1, okay, parent dot x is 1 here, and the child dot x and child 2 dot x is also at the first, like on our first output. Let's see, if we have these is, there is nothing, like we have just this line 10. So the output of line 10 is 111 because this one contains one of parent, and it is also inherited in those child as well, because you can see the class child has also a parent, and it is also automatically inherited by the characters of parents, so it will also add the same, like child dot x and child 2 dot x also 1. Okay, so in our next iteration, when we put this like child dot 1 to 2, and after that we print it, so child dot 2 here, this one, child dot 1 is equal to 2. Now we have 2 here in the center, 1 for the parent, and 2 we, because we change it to 2, so it will be 2, and after that the last one child is remains the same because it's inherited by the parent. Okay, now after that we change the parent to 3. Now you can see that when the parent is 3, then automatically the first and the last is also 3, and the middle one, child 1, it remains the same 2 because it is replaced by the variable 2. The logic behind his first iteration is totally inherited by parent. The other iteration is inherited by parent, but child 2, child 1 is changed. I mean the replaced variable is replaced by 2, and after that the when we replace the parent by 3, it automatically replaces 3 by like parent 1, and child 2 is 3, and child 1 remains the same because we separately mentioned here that child 1 is equal to 2, so that's why it remains the same, and the other rest of the other will be changed. Now we have question 4. What will be the output of the code below in Python 2? Okay, so here is our code. There are two functions, and those two functions are first one is division, and other one is also division. Okay, first of all we see the difference between this expression. Okay, this is floor division and this is simple division. Okay, so we can just check. Floor division means okay, 2 7 14. So it after the like the point value is removed. In normal calculator, if we divide 15 by 2, it comes 7.5. So the value here, because it's a floor division, it's not it's like without floating point, so it returns you an integer, not any floating number. So you have like a floor division here. Okay, so we have question number 4 here. You can see that this is the normal division and here is the floor division. Okay, it returns us integer, and this print function, like this second function, the body of that function returns us the floor or integer, like there is no floating point value. Okay, now we have to run this. You can see that 5, if we divide it, so it comes floating number, and when we divide it with like this one, without like floor function, using floor function, it returns us only 2. Okay, so here here's the demonstration of that question. I hope you will understand. If there is any confusion between any question, so I'm available, and I have like I have time, so I will discuss with you, and I hope I will answer if anyone have any kind of question like confusion. Okay, now we will jump on question number 5, which is list, and this list is basically sliced by using indexing. Okay, so we will put this code and we will discuss what's the output. Here our question number 5. There is like question number 5 and we will output it, and it returns us empty list. Okay, so let's see. There is like in A is at index 1 0, sorry, 0 1 2 3 4. So we have total 4 values in our list. So how we put here 10, because we don't have any 10th value, we have only 4 values. So if we put 4 here, so it will return the fourth value like 0 1 2 3 and 4. But because our question is like here is 10, so we don't have 10th value, the answer is empty list. Okay, because we don't have any other value, we have only 5 values, 0 to 4 means 5 values in the list. So we have only like we just put here, if we put here 5, so it will return us empty, and if we put here like 4, then it will return us the last value. So 10 is 10th value is empty, so we have only 4 or 5 values, so we don't have any 10th value. Now let's jump to question number 6. In question number 6, consider the following code snippet. Okay, let's jump directly to our code. So now we have to run this code. Now you can see when we print it here, In list number, first two lines you can see first list is empty, because the reason is when this list multiplies by 5, so it will like return 5 times empty list, because when the empty list it is like same, if we multiply 0 with any value it will be 0, so empty list also multiplied by any number will be empty, so this will return us empty list. Now after that, when we append 0 to like in the list, append 0 to list, so we have like on zero index means on that index, this is zero index. Okay, so at zero index we have 10 now. Okay, so because we have like our list is already multiplied by 5, so on line 5 our code knows that we have five positions or five mini lists in our main list, so it will append 10 in all those five lists. Like here it's the first list appended by 10 at 0 index, appended by 10 at 0 index, same here appended, same here appended 10, appended at 0 index. Okay, so this will return us that output. Okay, now we have 10. When at line number 9 we put 20 at index 1, basically this is index 0, and after that comes index 1. Okay, so after that when we put 20, so our list return us 10 at 0 and 20 same, because 0 and 1 we have appended 0 at 0 10 and at index 1 20, so this will return us the list with 10 and 20 both in the same list. And after that, when we have the final value 30 and we don't append it in any index, it means we return like we have the main list, we are putting this 30 in the main list, we are not putting it in any kind of like index, like we put at index 0 or index 1 or index 2, so we don't putting it in any index in the list, so it will append it in the main list. So this is like we don't have any kind of change in the new list, but we can see that it will be appended at the end of the list of the main list. The rest of the other digits are not changed, but the appended value is at the at the right of the list. That's the logic of that. Okay, I hope you will understand. Now we have question number 7. Here is the question number 7. So let's jump into like given a list of n numbers, use a single list comprehension. List comprehension is also called one line expression. So we have to produce new list that only contains those values like even numbers, and from elements its original list will have like indices. So okay, so let's jump into question number 7. So here we can see the numbers are, these are number list of a number, random numbers are selected, and when we print this, when we output this code, so it will return us a number like number for I number enumerate. Okay, so it will return us only even numbers from that list, not the odd ones. So this will enumerate, this will count all the numbers and then divide it by 2, and the condition basically here is if there is any number which is not divided by 2 will be removed, and the rest of the others will be stored in number 1, so in the number variable, sorry. So this variable contains all those values here which are even now. Now our question number 8 comes. Here you can see the class and the class of dictionary and the missing keys. Okay, so it's better to come in Visual Studio Editor to understand this code. we have to run this code and it will return us nothing. Okay, so if we print, because this function returns empty list. First of all, in this class a function is called missing. Okay, and it returns empty list. Okay, so if we like, if we put d, so it will simply return us like value, key and value of the dictionary. You have to learn, if you want to learn in Python, there is a concept of dictionaries. So there is a key and a value. So in this code, this code returns something like a dictionary, and you can see that if we print the d automatically passes this to dictionary, and the key and the value will be printed. So this function is for just dictionary printing. Otherwise, if we print any other value here, so it will reject it, it will show us any kind of error, so it will not print that value. So dictionary means that this function pass only the dictionary value. Any key and value will be accepted by this function. Rest of the other, there is no other integer will be passed by this dictionary. Okay, so we have like our question 8 completed. Now our question number 9: how would you unit test the following code? Okay, this is basically a session, client session. It's a request passed by like Docker, so it you have to install Docker on your system. Okay, the Docker is basically a container. Like if you want to deliver any kind of code to your client, so you have to pass it like, you make a container and you will put all the environment packages, the installed packages in your environment. You will put your environment as it is in that Docker container, and you will deliver it, because it remains the same. I mean, if you run your code from your PC to another PC, it will automatically show you an error, because those packages are installed in your systems is not working in an other system. So it is very important to like to shift those environments with like in a container or in whatever, you zip those files in but in zip file you don't put any kind of package, because when anyone run the code in their system, so this will show them error, because they have no packages, no environment created on their systems. Okay, so this code basically is for that. Now we can jump to 10, filling the missing code. Okay, this is the like container, question number 9. Okay, now we jump to question number 10. Okay, so question number 10 is like this, and this shows us like directory, print directory contents. Here is a function in Python of import operating system. So if we list it, it has a function list directory, so we can pass the path of that directory, and this directory automatically show you what is currently, I mean which kind of files is in your folder. So you just pass the folder path here, and this code will show you like in my case it is showing me my like my codes which I am like discussing with you separately. So here is my like files of Python code is showing in my directory. So same like you put the any kind of path here, and it will show you what the files are present in that folder. Okay, so now we jump to line to our question number 11. Here is looking at the code, write down the final values of a0, a1 and an. Okay, now we jump to question number 11. Okay, a0 is basically a dictionary, and it is zipped like A and 1, B and 2, C with 3. Basically it's a zip function. Zip function always like merge like 2 or 3 or list like in one. Okay, so we have to like print our A0. What A0 return us? You can see that it will combining A with 1, B with 2, C with 3, D with 4. Okay, now we check A1. What A1 returns us? You can see that there is a range of 10, so it means 0 to 10. And we if we print it, so like if we can say for I in range 10, then print I. Okay, here is a function for I in range 10. Okay, I will show it in I will show it in the terminal. Okay, let's check it. If we can say for I in range 10 and then print I, it will show you the value 0, 1, 2, 3 and to 9. But when we print A1, it just shows 0 to 10. It means 0 to 9. Okay, I just want to tell you like the concept of the range. Now we have to come to A2. What this will return? Okay, it return us like for I is our output. For I in A1, okay, it means I in A1 means 1 to 9. Okay, if I in A0, okay, so it will return us like a sorted empty list, because I means there is the ending value of 9 is not present, like 1 to 5. Sorry. I hope my mic is my voice is clear now. I reconnect my mic. Okay, okay, now this is like empty list shown. Okay, now if we print A3, you can see A3 has sorted like 0 to 5, because A0 S means like the other key value pair. So this S is printed in the value, and this is like our sorted list. And in A4, it also returns same. And if we print A5, 0, 1, 2, 9 and 16 and 25, because A5 has like multiplier, means 1 multiplied by 1, then 2 multiplied by 2, then 3 multiplied by 3, then 4 multiplied by 4. I mean all those values like 1 to 9 or 1 to some are multiply, like 8 multiplied by 8 is 64, 9 multiplied by 9 is 81. So these are A3 and A4 are simply are printing the values, and here these values are also like multiplier by, like this is the square of those values. Like if value is 8, 8 multiplied by 8 return us 64 here. So if we print A6, you can see it will show us all those values in the list. The difference is these brackets, and rest of the others are the same. Okay, so now we have to jump to our question number 12. Here is the question number 12. So we can print question number 12, and the output of that, like, there is a function with two parameters. One is like an empty list in L variable. L is our empty list, and X is a simple variable which is passed. Now pass 2 means 2 is like X is 2, so for I in range 2 means 0 to 1, it will append the multiplier of that value, like 1 multiplied by 1, 2 multiplied by 2, whatever. So 0 multiplied by 1, 0, and 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. So it will automatically print return us when we put 2, it return us 0 and 1, because when there is 1, when there is 2, sorry, in the X, and this 2 comes here, and it means 0 and 1 here in that on that line of code. So this 0, in first iteration, this 0 will multiply by like 1 by 0, sorry, because at that time here is also 0 at this value, so 0, and it multiplied by 0. This 0 is basically come from the range, because when you know the range function, so range 2 means 0 to 1. Okay, so after that, in other iteration, there is now 0 is here is after 0 it comes here 1, and at the value of range at X, here is also 1, so 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. Same concept for the other, because 3 at 3 index, you can see at firstly 3 multiplied by 1 is 1, and 3 to 1 means this function returns us like 3 to 1, and then 3 is multiplied by like 0, 3, and 0, 2, and 4. Okay, now at the end, like if we can see that 3 multiplied by 0, 0, and then 1, then 0 and 1, and then 4, because the range is now like it is appended in the list, the value is appended in the list, so it will show us the same value. Okay, I hope it's a bit tricky, but it's very easy, because this function is returning us the ending value, like the previously it will the 4 is like it will be counted here. I mean, the in the range we will append it, and it will show us the previous value, because it's already present in that, and 3 to 1 is the range, and when we pass a single parameter 3, then it will show us 0 1 0 1 and then 4. Okay, now our question number 13 is here. It's like an object oriented programmer question, and this object oriented concept is the inheritance, like this class has parameters, and the class A has main parameters go, stop, and pause, and in class B, which is inheriting the features, this is called inheritance. This class is getting some features, and the main superclass is also getting the feature from the main class, parent class, and same like other classes also getting the features, and that class D is getting the feature from B and C class. Okay, so let's try it in our code. Okay, in that code you can see that class B and class A, we can run this. I think it's a bit tricky, but class A is like, we have to like print a dot go. Okay, print a dot go. Okay, it is showing us a dot go. Okay, print a dot stop, a dot stop, print a. Okay, we have, I think, yeah, stop a. Here you can see, if we print a dot go, a dot stop, it will show us stop. It means a dot stop function is working. Yeah, exactly, working. And if we print b, okay, a dot go, yeah, it's working. So basically this a is the main parent, and this b is inherited by this a. And if we call here b dot go, it will return us go a. Go means that this b also inherited like superclass from dot go. Like this go is relating to this a, because this is inherited by this. And if we call c dot go, then it will return us both a dot go and c dot go. Reason behind is c dot go is also its own feature, but because c is inherited by a, so that's why it is featuring his property as well, like a go, a go. So this is called inheritance, and these classes are inherited from with each other. So that's why these are like it's a feature of inheritance. So this class is inherited by the previous class, and the next class is the child of the previous class. The parent child concept is here. Okay, now we have to jump to question number 14. Here is question number 14. We have to read the problem statement. Consider the following code. What will it output? Okay, so we have VS Code here, and we have our code here. And now we will exit this code, and now we will print our question number 14. And it shows us child, root, nodes, etc. Okay, we can discuss it. Now you can see there is a class with the like children and the name. Okay, the surname of the children. Okay, the children is appended by the node, and this two main functions, print all one like print all two, is the features of that class. And in the node we can like we will pass the strings child 3 to like child 4, child. In each variable we will pass like the string to identify. In root we have node root. In this variable child 1 we have child 1 string. We have child 3 in child 3 container or variable. So after that work we append like the complete variables, and like to shuffle all those variables. So when we shuffle all those, so it will show us at the end the like print all one and print all two. Print all ones means here is which is the all ones, and one 747. Okay, I will do. This is our output. Roots child one. So it is. I think it's not missing any of that. Basically, this code is also like showing us inheritance, and somewhere it will pop the values as well. So this is question number 14. Okay, and at the end of that we have one other question 3. Okay, now we have to print this question. We have to read the statement. This function basically each time, I mean, it returns us random value. Like if we pass this value to f3, these are three functions. This is f1, f3, f2, and f1, f1, f2, f3. These are functions, and we pass this expression, and after that this expression will pass it, and it will show us any random value. Okay, now we pass it to f3. Let's see what it shows us. So it is showing us a random value like 374. Okay, if we pass it to f1, the difference between all those functions, I mean, they are also returning, some of that are returning the sorted, and first one is not, first one is also returning a sorted list, but it will, the difference is it less than 0.5. I mean all the numbers, but here is a multiplier of 0, so it will show us multipliers. Okay, we can check it. It is less than 0.5. Okay, yeah, it is less than. And if we pass it f3, it will also like less than that, and I hope that it will work. Yeah, it's working, and it is returning us, let's see, 0.0. Okay, because when we multiply it, it will more decrease in that value. But in those previous two functions, f2 and f1, there is a minimum decrease like 0.5. But here, because 0.5 is two times multiplied, because, and it will be like zero point 0.5 multiplied by zero point 0.5, and it will be decreased by 0.25. Oh, that's why. Okay, those are 15 interview questions, and I hope I try my best to elaborate it. And let's see if you have any kind of questions, so you can ask me, and we will discuss it. Okay, for the further, let's see. So thank you. Bye.